Hey everyone, I'm Naguura, and today I've got another dungeon guide for you for Season 1 of The War Within. We're gonna take a look at the 4-boss dungeon City of Threats, where the Weaver and Vizier have joined forces with the players to stop the continued corruption of the Transformatory. The starting area of this dungeon is filled with quite a lot of caster mobs, so it might be difficult for your group to gather up multiple packs at once. I recommend assigning some interrupts for Silk Binders because they continuously cast web bolts at players, doing moderately high damage. This can be especially deadly in combination with other damage events. You also want to watch out for the Swarm Guards patrolling through the area because they apply a heavy hitting dot to players which can ramp up pretty quickly. Additionally, Heralds of Ansrek are high priority targets because they apply a magic debuff on players that eventually shoots out orbs in various directions from the debuffed player's position. The orbs do damage and stun any player hit, so make sure to position yourself properly, and the healer should wait with dispelling the debuff until the debuffed player positioned themselves properly as well. Additionally, the Heralds also cast Twist Thoughts, a heavy-hitting magic damage nuke to targeted players. Try to interrupt as many of those casts as you can. Throughout the dungeon, you can find illusions of Queen Ansrek. Any rogue, priest, or a player with engineering skill of 25 or higher can talk to her to gain a 30 seconds damage, healing, and movement speed increase. The first boss is Orator Krix'vizk. As soon as you enter combat, he will pull any player outside of his 10 yards radius circle back towards him. The boss has 3 main mechanics to watch out for. Number 1, he will cast a frontal towards a player direction you have to dodge. Number 2, he will put a debuff on 2 players, eventually making them shoot out orbs that stun and deal damage to players hit, the same ability as in the previous trash mobs. And number 3, he will channel an AoE damage ability at 100 energy. Immediately after the AoE, he will then spawn a rapidly growing puddle directly beneath him. So position the boss accordingly to save space, and make sure you coordinate as a group to start walking into the same direction after the AoE is over to not take any damage from the Void Zone. Once you finish off the Orator, you have to find 4 spies of the Queen by following their mirror images that lead you to their location. Once you are close enough to reveal the spy, you can press your extra action button to uncover them. None of the other mobs in this area give you any count towards the required enemy forces in Mythic+, so try to avoid pulling anything else. Additionally, you will be revealed and ported back to the entrance of this area if you step into any of the blue circles, so watch out for that. After you finish off the 4th spy, you have to locate Executor Nisrak. He will then lead you to the Fangs of the Queen. This boss consists of NX and VX, and they share a health pool. One boss will be actively attacking the tank, while the other boss takes over a more supportive role, but at 100 energy, they dash through the arena indicated by lines on the floor, and then switch roles. If NX is active, he will create mirror images on each tank slash, and then eventually cast frontals and an AoE with additional area of denial around himself and his mirror images periodically. While VX will occasionally cast icicles indicated by blue arrows above players' heads. These icicles will travel from the boss towards each player and deal damage in its path, so spread accordingly. If VX is active, she will start attacking the tank and use her tank ability Rime Dagger, applying a 10-stack debuff of freezing blood, indicated by a big white circle around the player. If the debuff reaches 16 stacks, the target will be frozen solid, stunning them for 30 seconds. To prevent this, the tank has to stand close to other players, and this will remove 1 stack per player every 1 second. Next up, you enter an area with the opportunity for some larger pools. Most of the enemies in this area don't have any dangerous abilities outside of tank damage. The only mobs to watch out for are covered Webmancers. They cast a heal and a chain lightning style ability, both of them can and should be interrupted. On top of the stairs, there's a lieutenant-type mob, a royal venom shell. Watch out for the venomous spray, applying a 12-second poison dot to the entire group. After the venom shell, you enter the Transformatory. Here you want to assign interrupts for the Suriki Unnaturalers Void Wave. Otherwise, your group takes damage and everyone will get knocked back. This can also cause players to get knocked into the webs on the floor. They will spawn additional mobs if you get too close, so try to avoid it as much as possible. Additionally, the test subjects channel an AoE around them and also spawn puddles. Next up is the Coaglamation. This boss doesn't have many mechanics, but can be pretty difficult on the healers. Once in a while, the boss casts Vicious Darkness, dealing damage to the group and knocking everyone back. Additionally, it will also spawn orbs of black blood from canisters around the arena. These will travel towards the boss and heal him for 7% of his health if they reach him. To prevent this, you have to intercept the orbs, but doing so will apply corrupted coating to the players, a healing absorb that stacks. Additionally, the boss channels AoE damage to the group at full energy. This can be dangerous if players still have healing absorbs on them, so make sure to help out your healer with defensive abilities and self-heals. Intercepting the orbs will also spawn puddles on the floor, so be mindful of that. Before you can fight the last boss, you have to defeat 2 mini-bosses. You can pull them separately, and I recommend doing that on higher keys as they are both pretty dangerous. Elder Shade Weaver will be attackable first. She casts Web Bolt, which nukes a random target with magic damage if not interrupted. She also casts Umbral Weave, rooting everyone in place. You can get out of the root by attacking it or using abilities that break roots. The other mini-boss is Hulking Warshell. He applies a dot to the whole group, similar to the previous Warshells, but to the whole group instead of just some players. The last boss of City of Threats is Iso the Grand Splicer. He uses similar abilities to the 2 mini-bosses before, and in addition he spawns 3 orbs, and relocates them to player locations occasionally. They do damage on contact while traveling to the new location, so to avoid getting hit, I recommend moving together as a group, so you always know which direction the orbs are coming from. Iso also roots players with Umbral Weave, just like the mini-boss, and also creates Tremor Slam, an area around him which also spawns Ravenous Scarabs. Be careful about both Umbral Weave and Tremor Slam doing initial group-wide damage, especially in combination with Splice, a 6 seconds dot applied to the whole group occasionally. Use defenses for the overlaps. Alright, that's it for a basic breakdown of City of Threats. We can't wait to see the strategies you come up with for this dungeon during the War Within Season 1. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss the guides we have coming for other dungeons. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!